Hello everyone, welcome to the JRPG Report. This is going to be episode 101. My name is James Fisher, and welcome back to your weekly JRPG podcast. We don't have any huge stories this week. However, we have no shortage of things to talk about. I usually like to lead off with the biggest story of the week, and I've actually been sitting here for the past 5 minutes trying to figure out what that is, and I don't have anything to start. So let's just go with what has my biggest attention this week, and it is a story that came out yesterday from Square Enix. And so this is not specifically game related or even JRPG related. However, they're talking about the next generation consoles, i.e. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And I'm guessing they're going to lump in Nintendo whenever that happens as well. But specifically those two things. And this came out of a financial results briefing held back on February 5th. And the question was asked, could you share your thinking on the development of new titles for current and next generation game consoles moving forward? And the answer was, the next generation consoles will have backwards compatibility. So we plan for the time being to make our new titles available for both current and next gen consoles. It will therefore be further down the road that we release titles exclusively for next generation's consoles. And I'll read the rest of the story before talking about that a little bit more. They also asked if the change of Final Fantasy VII Remake's originally planned March 3rd release to April 10th would impact development or launch timelines for the next installment, and it responded, no, it will not. You would not have thought a month delay would affect the next one in any real capacity, and they clarified that. So let's get back to that original idea, and we saw this a little bit with the transition from, PlayStation 3 to 4, that especially around launch, you had a lot of PlayStation 3, up-resed games at the launch for PS4. This is taking it a step much more in a different direction, I feel. Whereas now we have backwards compatibility being the norm. And that's new. Now, even with PS3, there was that one model that could play PS2 games, and Xbox's ability to play older games as well. But this is a whole new ball game, guys, and I think it's one of these unintended consequences of backwards compatibility. I don't think the launch of these systems, while there may be a couple, I think it's going to be almost exclusively games that are available for PS4 and Xbox One. That there's not going to be anything that's, this is your new launch title for your brand new system that really takes advantage of these new capabilities. There may be a couple. I haven't heard about any of them yet. And from the way Square Enix is talking, it's not going to be anytime soon. And so I believe even when we're talking about the next installment of FF XVI Remake, it is as well going to be available for both consoles. That is going to take a new IP in order for, would you say like by the time Final Fantasy XVI is ready, that's going to be a next generation exclusive title? I would hope so. Or Dragon Quest XII. Surely that is a next generation title. But is it unheard of to think that there would be a PlayStation 4 exclusive version? I don't think so. So I'm a little bit bummed about this, and it certainly has waned my excitement for these new consoles to the point where I'm not planning on getting one for a while until I see a need to get one. And while it's not a JRPG, we've already had the first official announcement of this in terms of who makes these games? CD Projekt Red has announced that users who purchase Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One, quote, will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available. The game's official Twitter account confirmed. Now, they would not elaborate on that when kind of asked, but this comes from a larger quote saying that this technology empowers you to buy a game once and know that whether you're playing on Xbox One or Xbox Series X, you are getting the right version of that game for whatever Xbox you're playing it on. We're making the commitment to use smart delivery on all of our exclusive Xbox Game Studios titles, including Halo Infinite, ensuring that you only have to purchase a title once in order to play the best available version. So I'm thinking that Sony's going to be the same way with their titles. That how do you guys feel about this? Are you kind of like me, that you're kind of bummed about all this? That I've always been one of the first early adopters for new systems over the course of my gaming career, and this is definitely not sounding like something I'm going to be all that fired up about. What are your thoughts? Do you not care? Are you getting these new systems as soon as they come out? What are you looking forward to? I don't know. So yeah, that was, I guess, the biggest thing I could lead with. I'm just going to kind of go down the list as things have popped up, and they're kind of some smaller stories, but I feel like all ones that warrant discussion. Now, we talked about this one a little bit the past couple of weeks, and that is VVV Tunia, and they got a release date for PlayStation 4 in Japan of July 2nd. It'll go for 7,600 yen. The latest issue of Dengeki PlayStation reveals. Of course, there will also be the limited edition, and it'll go for 9,600 yen if you would like to do the conversions. Be my guest. Here are the list of virtual idols that have been confirmed recently, and I will proceed to butcher most of these. There would be, I don't want to do that. I don't want to butcher these poor names because they're all over the place. Needless to say, there are a ton of idols that are going to be in this one. If you are a fan of the Neptunia games, it looks like everybody is going to be present and accounted for. If you'd like a full list of all these, just head over to the PlayStation, head over to the Facebook page and check out JRPG Report. I've got this story and every story that we talk about listed over there, as well as some fun things that we chat about from time to time, ranging from, serious JRPG discussions to just pure fun stuff. Code Vein's second major DLC content, Frozen Empress, is available now for $9.99, or if you've got the season pass, which costs you $25, it is out there for you as well. Of course, there was the launch trailer for it. Here is an overview that you can challenge the Frozen Empress of the Great Collapse Horror. She controls ice elemental attacks from their cold iron armor. 2 crystals accompany the Empress, and they will occasionally trigger advantageous support effects. You can block the crystal's support using weapons and gifts to successfully battle the Frozen Empress. There are a bunch of bonuses that you can achieve by clearing the horror hunting trials. And there is a new depth field called the Celestial Ice Prism. They say you can go into the frigid depth made with the multi-layer structure precipices and caves that are lined by stone pillars. Lost are awaiting inside the complex landscape. Sounds like a pretty forbidding dungeon. Of course, there are new items available as well. You can check out that trailer on the Facebook page, or if you're watching on our video version on YouTube, it is playing now. We mentioned VVV Tony a moment ago, but coming up on March the 28th, the company will be making a new title announcement. This is going to appear in the last print episode of Dengeki PlayStation, Volume 686. The magazine publication in Japan will finally end its production after 25 years in operation, and Compile Heart, as they have done plenty of times over the years, they've announced new titles in that magazine, and this will be one last one for the road, so to speak. Kind of surprised that magazine had made it that long. That's just, growing up, strategy guides and gaming magazines, they were a vital part of any gamer's repertoire, and they are just things of the past now. It is a different world. Everything is online, and you can look at it on both ends of the spectrum in terms of, it's nostalgic and it's kind of cool, but it's, especially for gaming and with smartphones in your hand that has all that same information, it kind of seems redundant to have a print version, which, unless it somehow gets early access, is going to be late information anyway. And if you want to look at it from a environmental standpoint, there's no doubt countless trees and paper waste being saved because of not having all that stuff out there. So there's many things to look at. I'm kind of sad, especially sad when Strategy Guys kind of went away. Had quite a cool collection of those, but things change. There's not much you can do about that. We've talked about the anti-RPG fantasy title Hero Must Die Again, and there's a new trailer and a new hour of gameplay video to go along with that, as the game is nearly ready for launch. Oh, it is. As of today, February 27th, it is out on all platforms, PS4, PC, via Steam, and Switch. It will support English and Japanese language options. We did kind of do some digging. Michael was asking me if there was a physical edition to this, and all this time, that I can recall, it did not mention that this was digital only, and it is. As of right now, it is digital only. If you are wanting a physical copy, the company did confirm that a physical version is coming. However, they gave no timetable as to when that would actually take place. So Michael went ahead and bit the bullet, and he got that digital version, and perhaps plans to get the physical somewhere down the road whenever that may in fact happen. It is not today, and not quite sure when that is going to be. Let's talk about some smartphone games. Yeah, I know you love those, and they certainly have their place. First up, we got Romancing Saga Reuniverse. That will launch on iOS and Android this summer. In the West, a pre-registration for Android-only users is available now. It's a closed beta, Square Enix announced. This smartphone title, which is set 300 years after the Romancing Saga 3, features an original story with returning characters from the series. It came out two Decembers ago in 2018 in Japan. and it's been downloaded over 15 million times. So I'll keep you guys up to date on when that in fact is going to be actually out here in the West. It's right now, like I said, it's just in the summer. So we may learn a little bit more about that here soon. A game that you can play right now on your smartphone, if I can find... Well, it's gone. I can't find the... I've lost the story. Dragon Quest of the Stars, I believe that's the name of it, is available now. I know it's on iOS. I'm sure it's on Android as well. I downloaded it last night, but haven't got a chance to quite check it out yet. It does. Oh, here it is. I don't know where it was. Yeah, so it is now available either in the App Store or on Google Play. This game actually had 20 million plus downloads, and it looks pretty cool. The trailer for it is really fun looking. It has all the classic Dragon Quest monsters and hero looks to it. You've got multiplayer mode for up to 4 players on it. A simple yet strategic skill gauge battle system. It is a turn-based system optimized for mobile. Use powerful spells and skills on monsters to trigger combos. But be careful, boss monsters, they have skill gauges too. Predict their next attacks and enjoy the strategic battle system. Of course, you have a robust character customization options. So you can choose their gender and features to create your own unique character. As you progress in the game, you'll unlock the skill vocation feature, which will change to your ideal vocation. That's certainly been in some of the Dragon Quest titles before. Level your characters and upgrade your weapons and armor to challenge powerful monsters, and you can zoom in and out and explore the planet. The map takes the form of a planet and is fully optimized for mobile. Swipe, rotate, and freely zoom in and out of the planet. Tap the sparkles on the planet to discover new items. It is completely free. I'm sure there will be some pay for content should you wish. In the trailer and in the image that goes along with this article, it looks like it's the final monster from Dragon Quest IV. I believe that had a ferocious 3-eyed head, and then had the stomach part with another mouth instead of eyes to it. One of the more hideous looking monsters in Dragon Quest history. Those final ones are always something special. And last but not least, War of the Visions. War of the Visions Final Fantasy Briggs Exvius launches this spring in the West. You can pre-register for that right now, and it's got a English trailer that is going along with it right now. The tactical RPG has surpassed 9 million downloads in a very short amount of time. It was just released in Japan in November of 2019. There are all kinds of pre-registration bonuses. You see this from time to time on games that if so many people pre-register, everybody gets some goodies, and they've got different levels every 50,000 pre-registrations up to 300,000. When it launches in the West, the game will feature both English and Japanese audio options, and English, French, German, Spanish, Korean, and traditional Chinese text options. It looks pretty good. You know, I've never been much on the tactical side of things, but I can't deny that the game looks pretty good. And we will just wait and see how it is received here in the West when it comes out sometime this spring. That's a good halfway point. We've got some more stories to talk about, but first let's have a quick word from Anchor. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Big shout out and thanks to Anchor, who makes this podcast possible. And I know you guys sit through the ad, but you know they give away their services for free and push out my podcast to everywhere. So I think it's a small price to pay. In reality, don't forget, head over, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. We do some Twitter stuff. I'm on Instagram every week or so. Listener support is available. If any of you fine folks would like to do that, I would surely appreciate it. We've got a website, jrpgreport.com. It's got cool links to all the stuff that you hear about here on the podcast. We've talked a little bit about Death End Request 2, and Idea Factory International will release its horror JRPG in 2020. So this was no big surprise, and I guess they're just clarifying that, in fact, the game is going to come out this year. I would guess that would be it came out on February 13th in Japan, so I'm not sure why they couldn't give at least a season on that. But North America and Europe will get it sometime this season. The game will be available both physically and digitally, and it will offer both Japanese and English audio options. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens with that game when it does finally come out. I've been struggling to figure out how to talk about this special edition, and I guess I'm just going to dive right into it and leave it up to your imagination a little bit. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? The game is set to come out. Well, this is kind of just talking about the collector's edition. Yeah, it's available now for PS4, Switch, Vita, and PC in Japan. The game is due out in the West sometime this year, based off a popular anime that name escapes me right now, but I was saying he really enjoyed the anime, but this game looks to be completely over the top, and this special edition is even more over the top. So this exclusive collector's edition is going to go for $103.12 for PS4 and Switch. The collector's edition will be available in both North America and Europe, and you will get a copy of the game, the original soundtrack, the 100-page art book, the set of 6 art cards. You'll be able to vote for which images you would like in the set, the outer box, and the reversible polyester pillowcase of Hestia. On one side it shows the character. On the other side, a very adult image, to say the least. I don't know what these people are doing. If publisher P-Cube is involved with this collector's edition or not, but that is just crazy. Usually we don't see these type of things, but I guess they're just going for it. So if you are a fan of this game and looking forward to it and would like all that stuff, you can check out the specifics on the Facebook page. I've got the story linked on there, and you can see if that is for you or not. The Japanese voices have been added for the PC version of Ys Memories of Calcutta. Hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, but sorry about that. XC Games has released a free update for the PC version that adds the option to switch between English audio and the original Japanese voice track, as well as a free update to the PC version of Ys the Oath of in Felghana. I believe that's how you say that. That adds the English voices originally exclusive to the PSP release. Now, these games were both on sale, but that sale actually ended yesterday, as this story came out last week right after we went with our podcast. So you missed your chance to save a few bucks on those titles. Maybe you picked them up either way, though. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Anytime people add stuff for free, that is never a bad thing. We haven't talked about this game in a while, and we still don't have any definite release date news, but Christ Tales did announce that when its game comes out, and is coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, it will also be coming out for the Stadia system. Now, that's not really that surprising, especially this since the game does not have a definite release date outside of 2020. But what I thought was interesting was, that announcement really does nothing for me. There was a really cool announcement trailer that I had not seen some of the stuff in yet, and it got me kind of excited all over again for this game. I really wish we could get some sort of definitive release date for it, but I guess we will when we will. If you want to check that out, you know where to head to. The game is looking very, very good, and I can't wait to finally get into that. So apparently today, February the 27th, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have deemed this to be Pokemon Day. I have no idea why that is, but they are celebrating it by announcing a new mythical Pokemon, Zarude, for Pokemon Sword and Shield to celebrate. So there you go. If you if you want to get the Rogue Monkey Pokemon, who is a dark/grass type and stands at 5'11" and looks like a very mean dark monkey, you can do that now. I guess they give it away. Sure. There's a new trailer that goes along with it where he is looking ferocious as well. So there you go. Get your new Pokemon for Pokemon Day and celebrate however you choose to do so. We got some new details about Genshin Impact, and we got a description for the Library Harbor character Zayao. He's an interesting looking fellow. One of the mighty and illuminated Adepti guarding Lowry. He is heralded as the Guardian Yakashka. Despite his appearance as a young man, occasional legends about him have been documented in ancient books for thousands of years. Looks like an interesting character, but we also got about 12 minutes of gameplay came out for the PC version of the game, and somebody either captured this or was released to them as part of PAX East 2020, which started today and runs through March 1st at the Boston Convention Centers. If you're in attendance, you could be playing on PC, PS4, or the iOS version. So yeah, about 12 minutes of it, and it definitely showed some of the gathering and exploration in the game, as well as the combat. So you've got your 4 characters, and only one of them is playable on the screen at one time, but you're able to quickly switch between those characters based on their abilities and what is needed for the situation. It looks gorgeous. And it may be because it's on PC, but I have to imagine the PS4 version is also pretty capable of displaying some of the effects and smoothness that is on display. So if you're thinking about this one, the game comes out in 2020. You can check that out. I'd love to know if you are excited about it, as I am. We also got in the past week not one but 2 Blue Pro reports from the upcoming PC game Blue Protocol. Number 2 and number 3. each one showing around 30 minutes of new gameplay from their live stream. It is currently in development for PC. I believe it has a 2020 release date. Closed beta signups are currently ongoing if you'd like to try to get in on that. But you can check out both those links and check out the live streams were actually over an hour and a half long. But obviously there's plenty of talking in between the segments. And but actual gameplay was probably about 30 minutes long. They've got timestamps for them if you'd like to check that out. Another game that's looking pretty promising. A game I'll be honest, I don't know anything about, and I hadn't heard about it, but I wanted to kind of report on it. And that is Brigandine, the Legend of Renuzia. I hope I got that close to right. So this is a turn-based strategy game that hasn't been around for about 20 years. But the updated new version is going to launch on the Switch on June 25th worldwide. It's going to be a digital-only game. Publisher HappyNet and developer Matrix Software announced. Now, Limited Run is also going to be doing a physical edition of the game in North America, but pricing and availability will be announced at a later date. As of right now, we do have a Japanese price for the physical edition at 7,200 yen and a limited edition at 11,800 yen. So, in the Brigandine Classic game is returning after 20 years in an all-new turn-based strategy game set in the familiar fantasy world. It's brought to life by veteran talent, including Scenario Raido, Genji Terada, who worked on Batman Dark Tomorrow and Final Fantasies 1, 2, and 3. Art director and character designer Tia Kazama, who worked on Xenoblade Chronicles, and the homecoming of composer Tenpai Sato, who worked on Brigandine Grand Edition and Disgaea's 1 through 5. So in the game, there are 6 countries that have waged war to conquer and unify the land under one nation. Players decide how their legend will unfold by selecting a country and creating their army of rune knights, exploring over 40 base locations and encountering over 100 unique knights and 50 types of monsters as they progress across the land. Featuring a fantasy world conquest within the turn-based strategy genre, Brigandine, the Legend of Runeterra, will offer hundreds of hours of immersive gameplay in the stunning new campaign for Conquest. Players choose one of 6 countries to assume the role of ruler, aiming to conquer Runeterra and command more than 100 rune knights throughout the 6 nations, leading various monster troops and various dragons, ghouls, and fairies into fierce battles on the hexagonal grid maps in the tactical turn-based battle system. There is a trailer that probably will show and explain that a lot better than I could, but if you remember this game, fond memories of it, and are looking for a new tactical game, well, come June 25th, you may have what you are looking for. Right after we went to podcast last week, there was a article dropped all about Trials of Mana, and it talked about the game's training system, abilities, appearance changes, seeds, and more. So the training system, you can level up a character's basic stats, such as HP and strength, of course. By allocating training points obtained by leveling up, you can strengthen your character with special skills, stat boosts, and new abilities. Well, that all sounds good as well. There's a new element of the ability system. There are various abilities that will prove useful on your adventures. By equipping the abilities you learn, they can then be used, obviously. Abilities have various effects, such as enhancing your stats, and giving you an upper hand in battle. In addition to abilities that you can learn by allocating training points, there are also abilities that you can learn by deepening your interactions between specific characters. Each time you advance to a higher class, the number of abilities you can equip will increase. There's also link abilities and exclusive abilities that you can learn after a class change. This new element of appearance change and class reset, that sounds good. Class change not only changes the appearance of your equipped weapon, it also changes your costume in a big way. After a class change, it is also possible to change the appearance of a lower class while maintaining the abilities of your current class. Choose your favorite costume for each character. When you enter a town, your party will split up, and the protagonists will move around alone. Your party members will be somewhere in town doing their own thing, so if you find them, you can talk to them. That's kind of cool. You can plant seeds that you find in the field and drop on monsters at the flower pots located at the entry of each inn, and then you can obtain items and equipment that way. That sounds kind of fun. There are now shortcuts. Up to 4 frequently used commands from the items and special skill set to the ring command can be registered as shortcuts, allowing you to use them quickly and easily. There are now 4 difficulty modes to choose from. Each difficulty differs in terms of monster strength in battle, but story content is the same. You can go from very easy mode, which you can be revived on the spot where you die, and that's recommended for players who are not very good at action games, who simply want to enjoy the story or are just kind of noobish like me at times. And you can also you can have up to 12 save data slots. Of course, there's still the auto save function, and now there are even more goddess statue save points on the fields and dungeons. Trials of Mana will be out on April the 24th. Looking like a pretty good game, but I'll have to pick it up somewhere down the road. Going on right now until March the 3rd, you guys probably already know about this, but the Big in Japan sale is live on the PlayStation Store, and there are a ton of JRPGs on sale. Obviously, like this one and the Golden Week sale are the big ones for JRPG fans, and more than likely, if you are looking for a game, it's probably on here. Code Vein is on here. All the Atelier games are on sale. And like Rise is on sale right now for $41.99. I got it physical for $50 on Amazon. That game does not go on sale very often. You can get all the Arland series games on reduced. Let's see, Code Vein is down to $35.99. I'm just kind of going down the list and see if there's any ones that jump out at me, like Dark Souls 3 right now at $14.99. The first Death End Request at $20. But it's also games like the Devil May Cry HD collections, $4. All the Disgaeas 1, 4, and 5 are on sale. If you want to play Dissidia Final Fantasy, it's down to $14.99 before it goes away. Dragon Quest Builders down to, well, they've got 2 prices listed here at $20 and $30. Dragon Quest Builders 2 down to $36. They've got the somewhat subpar Dragon Quest Heroes games on sale. The Dragon Quest 11 Digital Edition of Light is down to $30. Let's see. You can pick up Final Fantasy VII for $8. 8 Remastered is down to $12. 10-10-2 Remaster, $12.49. You can pick up 12 Zodiac Age for $25. All the 15 episodes, the Royal Edition, packs, Season Pass, Pocket Edition, those are all on sale right now at a significant savings if you want to do that. That's kind of, Kingdom Hearts 3 down to $18. The all-in-one package is down from $100 to $30. That's a big chunk of change off of that. Sorry, I'm just kind of going down the list. Ni no Kuni 2 is down to $20.39. They don't have the first one on there. That's kind of discerning. Nier Automata is down to $20. That's the Game of the Yohar edition. Thought there was a few more of these. None of the Personas, just the Dancing Endless Night collection is down to $27.49. All the Resident Evils are on sale. Romancing Saga 2, $15. Romancing Saga 3, $21.74. Secret of Mana is down to $20. Star Ocean First Departure R is down to $16.79. So, I mean, that game's only at $21 normally, but getting a couple bucks off of it if you're waiting. We're waiting for that one. Super Neptunia RPG, $17.49. A lot of the Sword Art Online games are down. Tales of Berseria is down to $15. Guys, if you got $15 and you want a game, go get this one right now. Don't wait. What a great game. Lights Live HD is down to $35. Caligula Effect Overdose, $25. Trails of Cold Steel, the first one is down to $24. Part 2 down to $28. And you can get the Trails of Cold Steel 3 Digital Deluxe Edition, which is normally $80, is down to $56 right now. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus down to $12. Valkyria Chronicles 4 Complete Edition down to $17.49. I don't know what White Day is, but there's a ton of costumes for it out there. World of Final Fantasy is $20. Ys Origin is $8. Ys 8 is down to $30. And there's even Vita games on sale. Oh, I didn't know that. And PlayStation 3 games are on sale. So yeah, there's lots of love for all your systems. You can go out there and get whatever it is that you're looking for pretty much at a really good price. The last thing I want to talk about today, and I thought NIS America might do something at PAX East, but we have an announcement about an announcement. NIS America has teased announcements next week on March the 3rd and March the 5th. The company said in an email sent to the press. No further details were shared. Anytime you make the announcement about an announcement, it's usually a good sign. I can't imagine they would do this if they did not want a bunch of fanfare for it. So, we've been waiting forever for localizations for Ys 9 and Trails of Cold Steel 4. They had better make this window to be announcements for those two games. What else could they possibly need to make some sort of press release like this for, if it were not for the games that everyone is demanding that they get localized, right? So with any luck, and I don't have my calendar right in front of me. Let me get it pulled up here. When is the 5th? The 5th is Thursday. All right, so let's go ahead and say it right now. I'm going to wait until Thursday to do the podcast next week. That way we've got not only the announcement on the 3rd, but also the 5th out there. And hopefully I will be bringing you some good news next week about two games that we've been waiting a long time for. Well, that's all the fun I have for this episode 101 of the JRPG Report. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I think you guys have been liking our Sunday specials coming out each week. Don't forget number 5. If you saw that in your queue, an automatic download, that is a spoiler cast for Trails of Cold Steel 3. Don't just start listening to it without understanding what you are getting into. Time's a little short for me this week, and it is easier for me to put together a soundtrack, a special Sunday special. So I'm going to do that for this week, and then maybe next week we'll have something a little more in depth. So with Persona 5 Royal coming out in a little bit over a month, I thought it would be kind of fun to go back and let's listen to the Persona 5 soundtrack. So this is called Sounds of Rebellion, and it is 19 tracks long. I got this with my Take Your Heart special edition that I got. It was just packed full of good stuff, and we'll check that out, and you guys can listen to that this Sunday and get you all ready for Royal coming out very soon. That's going to do it for this week's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you will do us a big favor, leave us a review. Give us 5 stars if you are so inclined on wherever you listen to this podcast. I would surely appreciate it. But until next time, guys, we'll just say, get back out there and level up.